Bokata, good morning, family. Hey, today's my morning message. This is my message. You don't have to agree with my message, but this is my message. I'm here to share my message. First, let's give praise to YaHUaH, the mighty father of Abraham, the mighty father of Isaac, and the mighty father of Jacob. Shalom, everyone, in the name of YaHUH. Hey, what I want to touch bases this morning is the seven spirits of YaHUaH. There are an innumerable amount of spirits as Malachim's servants of the Creator that works for YaHUaH. There's also spirits that we call emotions, for instance. There's a spirit of the wind and elements and things like that. But what I want to show today, what I want to focus on, what I understand, here's a set of seven particular spirits of YaHUaH that we need to understand as we approach the throne of YaHUaH through the teachings of YaHUshua and the law and the prophets, family. Let's start in Luke chapter 1. In Luke chapter 1, verse 19, the first spirit we are going to deal with is the spirit of the presence of YaHUaH, right? So in Luke 1, verse 19, it says, and the Malach answering said unto him, we're talking about Zechariah, right? The father of Yachanan the immerser. And the Malach answering said unto him, I am Gabriel Yah, that stands in the presence of YaHUaH. So first and foremost, here is the spirit or the Malach that stands in the presence of the Creator, the Malach of his presence, right? Secondly, let's look at another spirit. Let's go to Exodus right fast. Exodus chapter 14, family. And when we get to Exodus 14, we're going to read verses 13 and 14, okay? And what verse 14, 13 says. This is at the time of the flood, okay? Check out this spirit of YaHUaH, right? It says that, and Moshe said unto the people, fear you not. Stand still and see the salvation of YaHUaH, which he will show you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall see them again, never ever again. YaHUaH shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your shalom, your peace. What are we looking for? In verse 13, we're looking at the word salvation. We know the word salvation, according to YaHUaH, is YaHUshua, right? YaHUaH is salvation, right? So the second spirit of YaHUaH is YaHUshua. Can you imagine Moshe standing there and saying, hey, see YaHUshua of YaHUaH, right? See the salvation or the deliverance of YaHUaH. This is why we understand that the Mashiach name is YaHUshua, because he comes to present the salvation of the Creator, YaHUaH, right? So, hey, let's look at the third spirit. Let's go to the 19th chapter, right? And this is critical here for the understanding of the house of YaHUaH family. Exodus 19, we're going to pick up at verse 16, right? So here's the Father coming down on Mount Sinai in the presence of the house of YaHUaH, right? So he says here, 16, and it came to pass on the third Yom in the Bokata, in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings and thick cloud upon the mountain, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud. So all the people that were in the camp trembled. And Moshe brought forth the people out of the camp to meet YaHUaH, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. Next spirit we're looking for the spirit of the voice of the trumpet, right? So in the voice of the trumpet, exceedingly loud, that's the third spirit, family. The Malach of his presence, the spirit of salvation, the spirit of the voice of the Malach, seven Malachims with seven trumpets, right? In Revelation, they got to blow. That's important. If you go to Numbers chapter 10, YaHUaH give the command to make the shafors, the shasharats, and the ram's horns, etc., family. It's important to know. So when we blow the shofar, it has great meaning, right? the voice of the trumpet. But let's continue the voice of the trumpet dealing with additional spirits, right? Or Ruach. Let's go to Revelation chapter 8, right? I want to go to Revelation chapter 8, and let's look at another spirit of YaHUaH, talking about the 7 spirits of YaHUaH, the Creator, right? So Romans 8 and verse 8 first read, and the second Malach sounded with a voice of a trumpet, and as it were in a great mountain burning with fire and cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures were in the sea and had life and died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed, right? Verse 13. And I beheld, and I heard a Malach flying through the midst of Shemayim, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by the reason of the other voices of the trumpets and of the 3 Malachims which are yet to sound, right? Here's the Malach of, well, we understand this, the creation, the spirit of creation for YaHUaH. Because we talk about the elements that is being dealt with, right? So the elements are in creation, family, right? So I'm hoping you understand this, because this is very particular, and I'm being more focused on just these particular 7, what you call spirits or Ruach, or the will of YaHUaH. You should call it the 7 wheels of YaHUaH, or the 7 workings of the Creator, right? But we want to understand is how these spirits, this Ruach, work with the Creator YaHUaH, right? Revelation chapter 11. So now, family, we're going to go into Revelation chapter 11, right? Check this out, though. Revelation 11, I'm going to read 15 through 17, right? So it goes on to say here at 15, the voice of the trumpet again, right? That one spirit that over other spirits, but hey, and the 7th Malach sounded, and there was great voices in Shemayim saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdom of our ruler and or of our father YaHUaH and his Melchizedek, right? And he shall reign Allahim forever and ever, family. And the 24 elders which sat before YaHUaH on their seats fell upon their faces and worship, praise YaHUaH, saying, we give thee thanks, O YaHUaH, Father Almighty, which art and was and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and has reigned, family. So here is the Father, basically, of life and death, right? This spirit represents the spirit of life and death, because he kills and he makes alive, family. Simple as that, right? Well, we also know it is called the spirit of life, right? Let's go to 2 Thessalonians, right quick. We're going to wrap it up. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verses 6 through 9, right? 2 Thessalonians, verse 6 through 9. And here is a spirit of vengeance and fire and vengeance of YaHUaH, family. He says that at verse 6, seeing it is a righteous thing with YaHUaH to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you with bad doctrine, breaking the laws, etc., right? And to you who are troubled, rest with us, when Yahusha in the seat of Melchizedek shall be revealed from Shemayim with his mighty Malachims in flaming fire, taking what? Vengeance, right? The spirit of vengeance, the 7 spirits of YaHUaH. Here's the spirit of fire and vengeance, family. It says, vengeance on them that know not YaHUaH. It's best you learn YaHUaH as soon as possible, right? And that obey not the message of our teacher, Yahusha Masha'ah, family, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of YaHUaH and from the glory of YaHUaH's power, family. Important to know, right? One more place we're going to get out of here. Let's go to Yachanan right quick. Let's go to Yachanan, chapter 15, right? YaHUH chapter 15 is where we're going to go. And the last spirit we're going to deal with in this information sharing right quick is the spirit of truth, family. I ain't got it in no particular order, but I just want to put them out here. I want to make them known and aware. Basically, at verse 26, it says, but when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from my Father YaHUH, even the Spirit of truth, family, which proceeded from the Father, he shall testify of me, and he shall also bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. So we're talking about Yahusha, talking about the Spirit of life, the Comforter, the Spirit of truth. The seven spirits of the Creator, YaHUH, which is the Spirit of His presence, the Spirit of salvation, the Spirit of the voice of the trumpets, the Spirit of creation, the Spirit of life and death, the Spirit of fire and vengeance, and the Spirit of truth, family. Hey, this is my message. You don't have to agree with my message, but this is my message. I hope that you get an understanding in Yahusha's name. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. We'll go do you 100. With that, family, I thank you for your time. Allow me to share my information with you in your space. Hope that the rest of your yom be Baruch in Yahusha's name. Until we meet again, shalom, 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 family.